Hey guys, welcome to Meals with Maria. Today I have a massive meal prep for you. So I have set everything up and it's kind of a mess in here. And we've got like Legos going on over here because the kids are working on those. JJ wants to be my assistant today, right buddy? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna cook together. I have a list of things that I wanna make to get us ready for the week, maybe even freeze some stuff. We're gonna do banana bread, we're gonna do some energy balls, we're gonna do quiche. I wanna make a bread in the bread maker. I have to get that out still. I wanna make oatmeal packets because I ran out of, what's up? I'll show them in a minute. Yeah. So, what was I saying? I wanna make oatmeal packets because I ran out of like the little ones that, you buy at the store. And I'm like, I have a whole thing of rolled oats that I've had forever. I'm gonna make my own oatmeal packets and save some money this week because why am I not using those oats? And then
Mama,
what?
What?
I love you too. I love you too. And then we've got everything bagel celery. I don't know if I'm gonna get to that. That's if I'm gonna make some snacks for today. I wanted to make some blueberry muffins using the Jordan Marsh recipe.
Yay, blueberry muffins.
Yeah, you love blueberry muffins. And then I'm thinking, did I have something else that I wanted to do? I know. I don't even know. But we're going to cook up a storm. Oh, I'm going to make cheeseburger chowder for dinner tonight. So you might see some of that in this video. And then in the future, I'm going to have an amazing crock. I know. I'm going to have, I'm going to make a crock pot cheeseburger soup. And I'll have a crock pot video out for you guys in a little bit that has the details on that. So come along with me. It's going to be fun. We're going to cook up a storm. Wants me to show you what he's working on. So you want to tell everyone what you're working on?
Yeah, a Technic grave digger Lego set.
That's awesome. Very exciting. So you can see I have pretty much like all the stations and stuff set up for everything I want to do. And I'm psyched to get started. All right, let's start off with banana bread. We're gonna melt our butter. We're gonna set our oven to 350 degrees. I'm gonna spray down my pan.
Delicious.
I know. And I'm gonna mix and mash my banana and my butter together. Then I'm gonna add in vanilla, egg, 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm gonna mix it all up, put it in my pan, and bake it for 45 to 55 minutes. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go! So like I said, for this recipe, just spray down your pan. I'm using an 8x8, but you can also use a loaf pan, your choice. And then you just want to melt 1 stick of butter. And then I'm using 1 banana that I had from my freezer. I call them freezer bananas. If you ever have bananas going bad, make sure to put those babies in your freezer because you can make banana bread anytime. And then 2 bananas that I had that were kind of going bad anyway. I do have Ben here with me, so he may have things to say about things that I say. And then you want to add a teaspoon of vanilla and 2 eggs, and then just mix everything up. That's all your wet ingredients. And you can say Julian's doing an amazing job here helping me out. Then add in 1 cup of sugar and 2 cups of flour. Now I know some people, or like most recipes, say to mix all your dry ingredients together, and I don't follow that. I don't know. And I feel like my baking always turns out fine. So that's personal opinion. And then you also want to add in 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of cinnamon, mixing everything together, and then just place that in your 8x8 pan and cook it at 350 degrees for about 50 minutes. Now, while my banana bread was in the oven, I figured it would be a good opportunity to get started on the energy balls. I had forgotten how absolutely easy these are and how I pretty much always have the ingredients on hand to make them and how much my kids love them. So you just need 1 cup of quick oats, 1/3 cup of flaxseed. Now remember that if you buy flaxseed, it does go bad. You need to keep it in the fridge or else it will go rancid. You want 1/2 cup of sun butter or peanut butter. My son is allergic to peanuts, so we always use sun butter. 1/4 cup of maple syrup and 1/4 cup of raisins. And then you can see I just used like a little box of raisins because that's what I had on hand. And then you can add a little bit of cinnamon to that and mix them up and roll them into balls. And I think you're supposed to, like, I don't know, wait a while before you eat them, let them sit in the fridge, but it was just too good. We started eating them right away, and it didn't even matter that they hadn't been sitting for a while. And they were just so great to put in my kids' lunch boxes, and I know that they're eating something healthy when they have them, which is really nice. These energy balls are also super versatile, so you don't have to use raisins if you don't want to. You could use craisins, you could use regular chocolate chips, you could use white chocolate chips. Really, anything your little heart desires, go ahead and put in those, and they will still taste delicious, I promise. Now I'm just going to make a super simple bread in my bread maker. I feel like this time of year is just the bread making time of year. I still have not gotten up the courage to make my own sourdough starter, but I really want to. So comment below if you've made a sourdough or like an amazing bread. I'd love to know your recipe or just have some encouragement so that I can get out there and actually do it. I don't know why, it intimidates me. I do love the bread maker though, so I will put one of those in my description box if you're interested in getting one, because it is seriously set it and forget it. You can see I'm just putting a little bit of flour in, some salt, water, and yeast. And yeah, I did notice that there was like something floating in it when I first put the water in, and I definitely didn't notice that while I was cooking it. Thank goodness the bread turned out fine, so we're all good. But I think it was just a piece of old bread that was like stuck to the thing, so not ideal, but it's real life. So this is my banana bread when it's coming out of the oven. Oh, it was so fluffy and so delicious. I personally like to take a nice warm piece of that and slice it in half and put a little bit of butter on it, and that is amazing. Now, my next step is to make a quiche. I decided to make a ham and cheese quiche, and this recipe was awesome. And the reason for that is it actually had you mix your ham inside some honey mustard, which was really good. So the first step is actually, I just didn't make my own pie crust. I had some in the fridge, and then I put some fork marks in it to make some dots, and then I'm cooking it in the oven for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. In the meantime, I'm getting my ingredients ready. So I'm just taking 2 cups of cheddar cheese shredded, and then I'm putting a tablespoon of flour in there, and that will help the cheese to sit in the quiche a little bit better. And then I actually have this little package of ham. I got at Dollar Tree, so that was $1, super cheap. And I'm like, I just got to use it up. I was going to make something else. I always think Dollar Tree meals. Doesn't always happen, but I still end up with stuff from the Dollar Tree, and hey, I use it. In a separate bowl, you want to beat 5 eggs with 1 1/4 cup of half and half. You can see that my pie crust has now come out of the oven, and it doesn't look cooked really at all, but it kind of like par cooks it. And then you just want to take 1 1/2 cups of shredded cheese and pour that on top of your pie crust to put that right in the bottom there. I think it's like 1 1/2 to 2 cups. You can put Swiss cheese in this too. You can use really whatever cheese you have in the fridge. I happen to have like this, I think it was like a taco mix, cheddar mix, but I think the recipe does actually call for Swiss, so go for that if you can. And then I'm just gonna mix up my ham with 2 tablespoons of honey mustard, and you just wanna mix that really well and get your ham all coated, and then put that on top of the cheese and make sure that you spread that well over your quiche. Quiche is one of my favorite like budget breakfasts to make. It's my favorite make ahead thing. I feel like it holds up the best if you make it at the beginning of the week. And I'm always just like looking inside my fridge and seeing what I have and then making the quiche from there. So I'm not like, okay, I need to go out and get all these ingredients. You usually can look up, and this is what I had. I was like, I have ham and cheese. I'm gonna look up a ham and cheese quiche and I'm gonna make that recipe. I had a little bit more cheese there, so I was just gonna put that over the top. And then you wanna cook this at 400 degrees for about 50 minutes. It does take like an hour to cook a quiche. And while that is cooking, we've now cooled down the banana bread, and I'm just gonna slice that up. Like I said, you can cook this in the 8x8, you could cook this in a loaf pan, and it just was so moist and so fluffy. I mean, that's banana bread for you. And you know, don't forget, you can add anything to this. So I didn't put anything in mine, but you could absolutely add chocolate chips or blueberries. Blueberry banana bread is fantastic. Walnuts, that's also a good option. Again, whatever you have in your cabinet, in your freezer, whatever you want to zazz it up with. These are things that I make that I'm like, I'm not going out of my way to go buy stuff. This is me using up stuff in my own fridge and freezer to make sure that we have food for the week and then I'm not spending extra money. Now here you can just see I'm just getting everything started now that my quiche came out. The quiche was so amazing. This is for the cheeseburger chowder. Like I said, this will be in an upcoming video, but I just wanted to share that I was kind of doing it all at the same time. And Tommy wants to show you his finished product.
I finished my Lego set and it's 9 plaques. And I'm only 6.
Did a great job, bud. He was so proud of himself. I think I looked at the box and it was actually 7+, but it doesn't matter. He's so adorable. He really focuses on that, and I'm so proud of him for it. So next step is my oatmeal packets, and surprisingly enough, I thought, oh, I have all these oats. Well, I had finally gone through them because using those for the energy balls, and we had, I think, made cookies recently. I'm like, I only had enough to make 4 bags. But the good news about this is it's really encouraged me lately. I went and bought another big thing of rolled oats and made more of these packets because it is so cheap. Like, it's insane. And my son loves it. Like, he loves just the oatmeal, and then you'll see I'm going to add a teaspoon of brown sugar to these. And that's it. I add that to a bowl with a little bit of chopped up apple. So like every morning, get that going with a little bit of chopped up apple. And then I fill that with whole milk. That's because just for him, I think that's the healthiest. We're whole milk people over here. And microwave that for 2 minutes. And it's delicious. It's so good. And then he actually likes flaxseed and some cinnamon on top of his too. But the great thing about the oatmeal is you can just make it your own. And my bread is finished here. You can see, look how nicely that comes out of the bread maker. It's just a nice loaf of bread. I eat this for breakfast like every morning, just like one slice, a little bit of butter and some eggs, and it's just absolutely delicious. Such a treat. And here I'm just finishing up my cheeseburger chowder. So you basically want to make like a roux, and then you make, I think it's like bechamel sauce almost. So add that to the ground beef and those vegetables that have now cooked in the crock pot, and a bunch of cheddar cheese. And it was so good. Oh, it has potatoes in it too. It was so good, like really, really, really great. And I will definitely make it again. And just, yeah, look forward to that upcoming video. And then last but not least, I did make some waffles, and this is actually a different day, but it's another part of my prep for the week. I made the entire box of these protein waffles from Aldi, and when you do it like that, you can just pop those in the freezer, and it's so simple and such a great thing you can grab anytime for breakfast, and it's absolutely delicious. So I just want to thank you all so much for coming along with me today on this massive meal prep. It was so much fun. I do have more prep videos, so I'll make sure to link those down in the description box, as well as pop an amazing prep video that I know you'll like up in the end screen. And I just thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I make videos every week, and I'm going to have so much more great budget content coming out for you. So I'm just so excited to share, and I'm so happy you're here. Thank you. Thanks again, everyone, and I'll see you all very soon.